And welcome back. This is going to be game 2 of Sparkyz versus Oz in the first week of the 9-10 Pro League season. Here we're going to be seeing a Protoss versus Protoss. This is HakSoo, aka Secret for Sparkyz, and PerfectMan representing Oz. Honestly, I really don't know too much about this, but before we go any further, I'm just going to introduce my friend Sam. He's in here with me during this cast, and hopefully we'll be interjecting a little.
Yeah, I might at least give Kyle a pat on the back, or help him say the word PerfectMan, or the name PerfectMan, because, I mean, that's a pretty good name, you gotta admit.
Good name, maybe, but what I can say is PerfectMan is far from perfect. He's looks like he's about 3-3 in his overall record, hardly any games played, although that is better than Secret for Sparkyz, who is right around 1-6 all time, so pretty terrible. While those colors are pretty close, I'm thinking that they're probably going to change that, but we'll get to that in a second. This is a point in the match where generally Sparkyz would be fielding Hwaseung. Hwaseung's another young Protoss who came out last season and really performed spectacularly for Sparkyz. I think he got somewhere around a 70% win rate, which is just ridiculous in the last Pro League. And yeah, now they have changed the colors, so we're going to have Secret starting in the northeast, and he will be yellow, and here in red in the southwest corner is going to be PerfectMan. These guys are playing on the map Match Point, which is one of the new maps for this season that I haven't seen at all. It's a two-player map. It's laid out kind of like Hwaseung, where, you know, the two bases lead into a little valley that go up a hill and down a hill. That's the general structure, but instead of having the two hills for Hwaseung, it's just the one hill in the middle that sort of acts as a gateway to the rest of the map and all of the other expansions. It looks like both players just putting down a gateway first. Pretty safe starting build, no cheese going on, and so we're going to see where they take their builds from this. But so far from this map, again, I haven't seen any games that have been played on it, but wow, white guy in the audience, rock on. Alright.
He's definitely a rock star.
Yeah, totally. So, like I was saying, I haven't seen any games played on this map, but from what it looks like, the one advantage Protoss might have on this map is when you're trying to break into your opponent's natural expansion, there is a little bit of a ledge where you could maybe take a shuttle and drop a Reaver into the main base while you're harassing at the front door of the expansion. So we'll see if that comes into play, and it looks like PerfectMan was hiding a probe. Maybe he's looking to take his...
Yeah, it looks like he was waiting for the probe to come into his base so he could move out afterwards.
Right, there he goes. He was hiding his probe so that he could get that expansion, and hopefully for him, Secret won't see it, but it looks like Secret is, well, I don't know, he's still dancing around. But Secret really needs to find out the timing of this expansion, or he's just going to be not only far behind economically, but he's not going to know about it, which is even worse. Oh, there he goes.
Yep.
Finally does get the scout out, so that's good for Secret. Hopefully he'll be able to get his own base pretty soon, and if not, at least he can put on some pressure and maybe try to even take the game early. Meanwhile, Secret is putting down a second gateway and a cybernetics core. Pretty standard Protoss versus Protoss intro, but sorry, PerfectMan has not yet put down his second gateway because he has spent all of that money in making that expansion, and now Secret evening up the economic lead, putting down his expansion, and I think Secret's in a pretty good position. He knows what PerfectMan is trying. He's got additional forces, he's getting his own expansion, and he's got a Zealot coming in to put some pressure on PerfectMan early. Like I was saying though, it's unfortunate that Hwaseung's not going to be here for this, because Hwaseung is also just played excellent in all of his Protoss versus Protoss matches. I think the reason that he's not in this matchup today is because he had a big group round at the MST Survivor tournament. I think it was just the night before this match happened. Oh, and one probe goes down for PerfectMan. Maybe, oh, second probe too, so two probe kills.
The probe and the zealot just walk some guys in there.
Probe and zealot harassment, getting a lot of...
Does he have the ramp blocked off with a zealot?
Yeah, he should be protecting his own ramp with a single zealot to prevent a second scout. Oh no, but then he lets the Dragoon in. This is really bad, and PerfectMan is going to be able to do even more damage with that Dragoon and get a couple more probe kills. This is going to put him in a nice economic position going on later into the game. Not to mention that his economy is not far behind, and he has gotten his own expansion up. I'm not sure if he's got any probe saturation on it quite yet. But like I was saying, Hwaseung in the MST Survivor tournament, trying to get into the MSL. I have watched those matches, but I won't spoil it for you guys. But so instead we're getting a show by HakSoo, and he's looking pretty good so far. We'll see, when he's able to get some more tech going. But oh, and right now it looks like Dragoon range is just finished, so he's going to have a huge advantage over these Dragoons by PerfectMan. That range upgrade, especially early on, is just so critical. But it looks like maybe Goon range came up for PerfectMan. I can't really tell, but PerfectMan is still on the run. He's having to put down a lot of cannons to defend this pressure. HakSoo is looking to end it really early with this very strong, starting out with that zealot and probe harassment, continuing in with the Dragoons. Excuse me there.
And now we see he's finally able to neutralize the pressure with a little bit of cannon cover, but definitely dropped a lot of zealots and a couple Dragoons. Oh, and his expansion's still not up yet.
Yeah, that's taking a long time. I'm trying to check on the mini-map. That might be... No, I was thinking it might be a third base, but not quite. Maybe I was just wrong about the initial timing of that. In the meantime, PerfectMan is teching up. He's putting down his robotics facility along with an extra gateway, so he will be in good position. We see... Oh, wow, a Citadel of a Dune, so... Secret is actually going to go for some Templar pretty early. He's also putting down a robotics facility and an observatory. So maybe that's just going to be for his observers. I'm doubting he's going to do any Reavers if he is going for Templar, but I could be reading this wrong altogether. Maybe this is just for speed zealots combined with some shuttles and maybe some Reavers to back them up. That'd be a more typical Protoss play. Meanwhile, PerfectMan is still waiting on his robotics facility, so it is quite a bit later than Secrets. I thought they were going up at about the same time. And yeah, no, there is a Templar Archives going down, so maybe some DTs in the mix in the future, maybe some High Templar. Slightly more likely we'll see some Storms to try to slow down maybe a group of Dragoons at one of those ramp choke points. Oh, and it looks like we're going to need to take a break right now, but we will get back to the action in just a minute.